Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweeties YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 12, 8, and 6. Now I am a part of the Timberdoodle blog team, and we every once in a while will receive some curriculum to go through and to show it in whether a blog or a video. And so one of the curriculums that I have received this year is from Timberdoodle, and it is called Discover Science. So today's video is all about Discover Science to give you a little bit better idea about this and show you inside, and hopefully you'll get a better idea, and you can purchase it on Timberdoodle's website for around $117 on their website if you were just getting the science. So this is also included in the non-religious bundle for Timberdoodle curriculum. If you were getting the bundles where it includes multiple, like I think usually math and language arts and science and history. So this would also be one of the options for the non-religious. So a couple of things. Now, I am a Christian, but I don't mind using non-religious items or secular items. We already include our Bible in different ways, so I don't really worry about that. I have seen on some other videos about this, I think from Making Everyday Magic, they exclusively usually use secular items, and she had mentioned that she did not, from her research, she did not think that this Discover Science was exclusively secular. So I would probably just say it is non-religious. I have not come across anything religious like Bible verses or things like that, but I would not necessarily say that this would be a secular option. So a few things about this. It comes with Book A and Book B, and these are all on grade level. So you could purchase any different level if you were looking for something that was not on grade 3 level. And then it also comes with a teacher book. The actual books are colorful and have pictures throughout, but the teacher's guide is black and white. The teacher's guide is specifically really used for just like your answers and how to extend the activities. It goes through objectives and tells you how you could maybe change things up. You could do for different learning styles like auditory learners, visual learners, or kinesthetic learners. You have different options in there, and it goes through different like rubrics of grading and different things like that. So this is definitely probably needed, especially if you want to know the answers for the workbooks. But these are pretty much like text and workbooks that you will go through. So I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through of this and show you a little bit more. Okay, so now I am going through Discover Science level 3. It's 3A and 3B, and then I also have the teacher's book right here. So the teacher's book I mentioned is in black and white, but I'm going to show you quick in here the different chapters and the table of contents so that you have a better understanding of what you're learning for the school year. So the chapter 1 is just an introduction to science. Chapter 2 would be about like fish, amphibians, reptiles. Chapter 3, you're going to go into warm-blooded animals. You got mammals and different things like that. And then you're going into chapter 4, behaviors versus instincts, adaptations, endangered plants and animals. Chapter 5 is going to have more about plants, like plants photosynthesis and types of plants and things. Number 6 is going to be ecosystems, and you're going through some of this with the ecosystems, predator and prey. Chapter 7, you're going to start introduction to matter. So this is a curriculum that doesn't just focus on one type of science. So you've already done like biology, and now you're going kind of more into like chemistry type thing with physical and chemical changes down here. And then chapter 8 over here is introduction to sound. Chapter 9 is energy and motion. Chapter 10 is soil, weathering, rocks, minerals. Chapter 11 is Introduction to Weather, and then Chapter 12 is the digestive system, so a little bit more biology in here. So that's the table of contents, and then I'll just quickly go through here. Like I mentioned earlier, that it just goes through like the different learning styles, like ways that you can kind of add in some extra if you have a child with those type of learning styles. It basically just it gives you the objectives, supporting your student. There are extension activities, like this one says like park exploration. And on this other side, there is a best bird seed, like talking about bird seed and things, maybe like a little experiment. But really, this is not a very experiment heavy. It does show the answers there as well. But this is probably where you're going to find the hands-on in the teacher's guide. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip through a little bit of this book. My daughter has done some of this, so I'm going to flip through to some pages that she has not done to just avoid showing her work. This first book only goes through chapter 6, and so the second book would continue on with the rest of the chapters that I mentioned from the teacher's book. So it is pretty thick, like this is pretty thick here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip through to a different chapter. Here's chapter 17, classifying warm-blooded animals. So this is just lesson 17, I guess. So by the end of this lesson, so it just goes through that, and then you have an online connection. It says draw a sketch, write a paragraph, or make a short video about at least 3 of the birds that you found. Discuss your findings with your instructor. So it has some questions there. Then you're going to go into this page where it has a little bit of reading and then writing your thoughts about the platypus there. And then classifying animals by features, a little bit more reading here, talking about these naked mole rats that look hairless, but they do have small amounts of hair. So it says, what are 2 types of warm-blooded animals? What characteristics would you look for while you were trying to classify an animal as a mammal? And then you're going into a little bit more reading for classifying birds here and a couple more questions, and then you have some practice, and then you have a review. Each lesson has a review and some like little think about it questions that you can kind of talk about. They also do have usually like kind of almost like a quiz, show what you know. So this is where you would need those answers probably, that they kind of go through a little quiz. There is a create thing throughout this as well. So chapter 3, review, this is lesson 18. So this is more of a review lesson. You're kind of reviewing what you've learned about warm-blooded animals, birds and mammals, types of mammals here. Got questions still throughout. More practice recalling your vocabulary here. And you have a Venn diagram to complete and a review little section. This section does have a lot more writing here, and show what you know. And this one goes through, think about what you've learned about it, circle how you feel. Like if you know this chapter really well, if you know this chapter pretty well, still learning this chapter, I'm not sure about some things, I'm confused, talk to your instructor about that. So this says, think about what you're learning, what stands out, and so they're supposed to write a little bit more. And then you're moving on to like chapter 4 here. So then you would kind of have like a little introduction that looks kind of similar to this on most of the pages. You have lessons at a glance, and then that's when you start your next lessons. It has kind of like the vocabulary written out. It says in the real world. This one says, draw a triangle around the pictures that show an animal or person doing something that they learned how to do. So they have that there. Some more writing here, and then pictures. This is about behaviors and instincts. So I'm not going to show you like everything, but I'm just kind of showing you a look of what the pages are kind of like in here. So honestly, I have not found where it's a ton of hands-on. A lot of it is kind of reading and writing out some answers. There have not been a lot of go do this thing, look at this to do. So there are some like where it's create, like a poster and stuff, but it's not as much like experiments and things like that hands-on that I have found. of course, they do have some of the suggestions in the teacher's book. So this is show what you know here, the quiz type thing. There is like, this is a section that says play. Have you ever played hide and seek? And things like that. Here's more of like adaptations, camouflage. Can you spot the animal? It's kind of fun. So I would say that this is still a great science where it's teaching you the things, but if you're looking for hands-on and like lots of experiments and things, I would say that this might not be exactly what you're looking for, but I think this could be a great option if you're just kind of wanting to get science done and just go through it. I think that they could easily do. I love that it is in color, and it's not a ton of reading or writing either. So they have a lot of times where it's just a few questions and things. So that is a few of the lessons. I'll just kind of quickly do a little flip here of some other pages, more practice. And then we're going into just book B, where it has the remainder of the chapters. It's pretty much the same thing, where you're reading and writing more of those things. I hope that this was helpful, that gave you a better understanding of what Discover Science is like. Don't forget to check it out on Timberdoodle's website, and I will link it down below. Let me know if you have any other questions that I can help answer for this. Thanks.